So when Reish and Aleph dine Kiddush al Hayayin for Yid Zayin Sifim, Kishi Avum Avesi Ma'anachum Yad. When a person comes home, he should hurry to eat, obviously after making Kiddush, as soon as possible. Nashim Chayavas B'Kiddush. Women are chayiv to make Kiddush. Af al Pishu Mitzvahs Asay Shazman Grama Perish Mitzvahs Asay Atli Bizman. It's a positive time-bound commandment which women usually are exempt from. It is, however, the case that women are chayiv midei raisa and Kiddush. Mishum de iskash zacher and shamer. There's a hekesh connecting zacher and shamer, which is mitzvah's essay of Shabbos of zacher, and mitzvah's losis, which is keeping Shabbos of shamer. V'hani nashin, these women hold v'isnu b'shmir, isnu b'zechira. They have to keep Shabbos. They cannot do malacha on Shabbos. Therefore, they also have to say Kiddush, which is mitzvah of zacher. Umotzias es hanashim, and therefore a woman could be motzi a man in the mitzvah of Kiddush, since they are obligated just like men are. There is a discussion of poskim about this lemaisa, and whether or not one could be somech on this. There are poskim who hold that lemaisa one cannot be motzi a man. Those who hold that b'di evid she could, but for various reasons lechatchila she could not. And the big discussion of the Achronim about the exact nature and the relationship between the chiyuv of the man and the woman in the mitzvah of Kiddush. It depends about, connect also to the question of is a woman chayiv midei raisa? Maybe a man, who daven ma'ariv, if we say yotze midei raisa, the mitzvah of Kiddush by davening ma'ariv, so long as a man really chayiv, or should be yotze with a child who's bar mitzvah, but we don't know if he has Beis Cyrus yet. The whole shilas in the poskim about these inyanim. Im ein yodam asagas leknos yan lekiddush. If a person cannot afford to purchase wine for Kiddush l'achan tzarchei suda, and to prepare the needs for the meal, l'chved halayim l'chved hayem l'kiddush hayem. So, meaning he could either buy wine for Kiddush, or he could buy a meal to eat on the night and the day, and to make Kiddush during the day. Motav sheyikne yayin l'kiddush halayla. The best thing to do is purchase wine for Kiddush at night, instead of purchasing things for the meal, or to purchase wine for the day. It says in the Gemara that the kavod of the daytime is bigger than the kavod of the nighttime. That only refers to the rest of the meal. Because if he has only a few delicacies to serve at his meal on Shabbos, he should save them for the daytime suda. If he only has one cup for Kiddush, so even though there's a mitzvah of Kiddush during the daytime, that mitzvah is derabanan. The mitzvah of Kiddush at night, first of all, is the first mitzvah, and second of all, that's the mitzvah deraisa. Also, not allowed to eat anything, even taste anything before making Kiddush, even to drink water. If you started eating before it was night, you have to stop. Shaparis mapu mekadosh, when you're in the middle of the suda, you put a tablecloth over the table, over the food that's there, and you say Kiddush. If you're drinking wine beforehand, you don't have to say B'rei Priya Gafen again, you can just say the bracha of Kiddush, studying Baruch the Shekichanah b'mitzvahs of Virat Savana, just in the nusach of Kiddush, and then you will have to make the bracha of Hamotzi. At this point, he will have to wash again because he had been usher to eat. As once it became Shabbos, so he had to make Kiddush, so he didn't have to repeat the B'rei Priya Gafen. He would, however, have to repeat the bracha of Hamotzi because he is now, he had to stop eating in order to make Kiddush. However, if he doesn't have any wine, so he's going to make Kiddush on the bread, which we'll see later that he's going to be able to do when he doesn't have wine. So then he does not have to say Hamotzi, because there was never a point in time that was also for him to eat the bread, since the bread is the thing he's making Kiddush on. Just like the wine, he didn't have to say B'rei Priya Gafen on. Some say, though, that even when he is going to make Kiddush on wine, he does not have to say Hamotzi again, because the Kiddush, yes, he had to stop eating them, but it wasn't really a hefsek, his intention was always to continue eating. And the mice, the person being done that because Safik Brachas L'Hakel to rely on this Shita. There are sometimes that people actually do this when Purim falls on Erev Shabbos. See later, the general eitzah is when Purim falls on Erev Shabbos that you have the Suda in the morning. But there are some poskim who then eitzah to do this, to be Paris Map, but Mekadosh in the middle of the Suda. This was some people also maybe do it when Yontif falls on Erev Shabbos. So the best thing to do the Suda earlier in the day. This would also be an eitzah that theoretically someone could do. Shnayim shahayu shosim. If two people were drinking, v'amru bo in the kaddish kiddush yom, they said we want to make kiddush. Nasar aleihem lishtos ad shekatri. They're no longer allowed to drink until they make kiddush. I mean, this is talking obviously. So once it becomes nighttime at shkia, they're not going to be able to continue eating without kiddush. But here's talking that after plag, they've been eating and they decided they wanted to make kiddush. That would ask them to continue their drinking until they make kiddush. If they want to drink something at this point, they're not allowed to do that because once they said bo nekadesh. But if they do want to drink something, they have to repeat the ber pergafen. A person forgot to make kiddush on Friday night. He washed and he said hamotzi, but he has not yet made kiddush. He remembers before he ate the bread, he kaddish on the pass. He should say the nusach of kiddush, the bracha, the baruch say that bracha over the bread, and then eat it. If he did this mistake by havdalah, he washed and he said hamotzi, and he realized he did not make havdalah yet, he should take the bite of bread and then say havdalah. There in havdalah al pas, because there's no such thing as saying havdalah over bread, but there is such a thing as saying kiddush b'shas adachak over bread. In Gamer Sudaso v'kiddush hayom kodem sheberach berachas mazon. If he ate a suda during the day, he finished the meal, and it's now Shabbos, but he hasn't benched yet. But he's done eating. So mevarich berachas mazon on kos rishon. He should bench. He should say the benching over a kos. Then he should not use that same kos. He should take a second kos and make kiddush. And at this point, he needs to say ritzei in benching. Even though he's saying the benching before he made kiddush. And this is based on the fact that right now, at least, it's Shabbos. Some say you do not mention ritzei in this Suda. We go after the beginning of the meal, just like we do by Motzei Shabbos, that we'll say ritzei at Shalosh Shudis, benching after it's already night. So the same thing here, you won't say ritzei even though you're benching after it's night because you ate the meal on Erev Shabbos. And this is presuming again that he did not eat after it became Shabbos, in which case everyone would agree that he does say ritzei. Now the question is, you're benching on a kos, we said you have to make kiddush on another kos, can you actually drink that first kos or not? It says machlokas gam im tzarich lachom ad achar kiddush kiddush mokum suda. And the other question is, which is the machlokas, if you can just say the kiddush, that's considered b'makom suda because it's kiddush after you just ate a meal, or if we say because of kiddush makom suda you need to eat a meal after the kiddush, and both of these is a machlokes paiskim. You see in the Mishnah Berurah and the other poskim what to do l'maisa. V'yesh oimrem, there are those who say that af bigmar suda say that even though he's already finished eating, he should not bench. Meaning, unlike this first day that we had, according to this day, do not say benching yet, even though you finished eating. And you have to be Paris map, you say kiddush, you say hamotzi. And eat a little bit. There's a question here in the poskim if this saying hamotzi is still the same machlekes that we saw in Sef Daled, or if we say over here that in this case once he's finished eating the suda, some achronim say that if he's already finished eating the suda and it has a chadas from his original suda, then at this point he does need to say hamotzi l'chol alma. It's no different than any suda that he had in mind to finish. Okay. In any case, then he'll have to eat a little bit, and then he will bench, and then he will have been yotzei with his suda, and the kiddush malkum suda hagav hachinog, and that is the minhag that that's done, even if you finish the meal, that you make sure you make the kiddush and hamotzi. You do not bench first. Lahotzi es nafshu mipuksas svarishona. The reason, says Gemara, is that in this case you can avoid those two machleksim that we saw before. The machlekes number one about if you could drink the kos of berachas mos, machlekes number two if you could be yod to the kiddush malchus suda, how you do that. So therefore we should follow the minhag to follow the second opinion here and make sure that you eat something at that suda. Afal pisha also litam kodem kiddush, even though it's also to taste anything for kiddush, even tom mikdash. Nevertheless, it doesn't take away his ability to make kiddush. Even though he tastes something, he still has to say kiddush afterwards. Low kiddush b'layim, if you forgot to say kiddush the whole night, whether by mistake or on purpose, he can fix it the next day, all day long. He would say the whole nusach of kiddush of the night, and whatever nusach that would be, whether Shabbos or Yantif. It's the same halach on Yantif. Milvad vaychul. The only thing you do not repeat is vaychul. Vaychul is specific Indian to say on Leil Shabbos. But it doesn't, once you missed Leil Shabbos, you would not need to say it during the day. Sarach shetia mapa al hashulchan tachas hapas. There needs to be a tablecloth under the bread on the table. Umapa acheres prusa gabav, and also a tablecloth covering the challah. Mekadosh al hakos. The number of reasons for this, famously given. Mishnah Berurah brings down a number of reasons, and nafkaminas between them, and how covered, how much covered, what should be covered, and so on and so forth. Mekadosh al kais malayayin, you have to say kiddush on a full cup of wine, shloyeh fagum, and it cannot be a kos pagum like we described earlier in the sugyas of kos shombrach and siman kuf pei beis. V'ton kol mashaton kos shom berachas hamazon, and it needs all of the other details described there regarding the kos of berachas hamazon. Ve'omer veichul mu'umad, you have to say the parasha veichulu while standing. Ve'achikach omer ber pri hagafen ve'achikach kiddush. Then you say ber pri hagafen and kiddush. Hagav yachol lamen b'shas hakiddush. You're allowed to stand when you say kiddush. As the Mechaber said, you have to stand for veichulu. He didn't say anything about standing for ber pri hagafen and the brach of kiddush. So the Rama says you're allowed to stand. V'yoser tov leisha, but the better thing to do is to sit. L'maisa, there are some poskim who bring down that even lechatchila one should stand, and they bring down Kabbalah reasons for that as well. However, the Rama says the minhag is that we sit for the entire kiddush, even for veichulu. The only thing that we do is that at the very beginning of the psukim of veichulu, we stand a little bit. Raise yourself up a little bit for the kavod of the shame. And that spells out the Rashi Tevis of the shame Havai Baruch. And therefore just stand a little bit for that. But the minhag says Ramah to sit down. There are those who do follow the minhag that the Ramah seems to indicate at the beginning as well, which is to stand for Vayechul and then sit after Vayechul. And there are those who follow all these minhagim. When he starts kiddush yitin ina v'neres, he should look at the candles. Uveshas hakiddush b'chol shom bracha bang. He's actually saying the kiddush. He should look at the kol shom bracha. V'chein nerali. Ayin le'elson kuf pe gimel sif dalad. More halachas about making sure you look at the kol shom bracha while you are saying a bracha. Im ein lo elo kos echad. If a person only has one cup of wine, mekadosh bo balayla, should make kiddush at night. But he's not drink from it, because that would make it a kos pagum, that he would not be able to say kiddush on that during the day or havdalah or anything like that. He should take that wine, pour it into another cup, because and drink from that second kos. And in the morning he can still say kiddush on what's left in the first cup. So presumably there will still be a shear left. The Mishnah has a number of discussions with the details of how you work this out. So what happens if the only thing he had was an exact revius of wine? So now he drank some of it at night, so he didn't make it a kos pagum, but he has less than a revius of wine now. You can add a little bit of water to it, to miziga, you mix it, and now you get to revius, and you can still make kiddush. This, however, this whole discussion talking about making the kiddush during the day and night is presuming that he won't be able to get a kos for havdalah. If he doesn't have even a kos for havdalah, motov she'anichana lahavdalah. The best thing to do in this case would be not to make kiddush on the cup of wine. Leave the cup of wine for havdalah, which you're not going to be able to do over bread. Then if he says kiddush on this kos, he won't really be able to make havdalah at all. And therefore, so you make kiddush on the bread and leave the cup for havdalah. There is a discussion here in the poskim about this. Lemaisa, what to do in this case. There are those who say he should still make kiddush. It gets into discussion also about making havdalah on chamar medina, on beer or other liquors. Discussion about what to do lemaisa in these cases. If he has enough wine to pour 2 cups, plus adding a little bit of water in it, so then he should make kiddush at night with one. He should save the second one not for kiddush during the day, but for havdalah. And he won't be able to say kiddush during the day. The kiddush because making kiddush at night is more preferable. And there's a discussion in the poskim about again how to be noted with this lemaisa. After he says kiddush, notel yadav u'mafreich al tilas yadayim. V'imnata yadav kodem kiddush. If he washed before kiddush, gali daiti dirifta chavivlei. That is considered a gilui das that he prefers to wash, not to drink wine. And therefore he's not allowed to say kiddush on the wine anymore. He will have to say kiddush on the bread. Some say that that's not so, that you could wash your hands for hamotzi even before you made kiddush and still make kiddush on the wine. This is the general custom in our country, says the Rama. And we should never change that. The only exception is at the night of the Seder. Kimoshi's Bersim and Taf Ayin Gimel, the reasons for that. Even though the Rama does say this, Ve'en Lashanos, there are a number of Achronim who say that one should be noheg like the Mechaber, and that is the minhag in many kihilas among the Ashkenazim, even now, to be known like the Mechaber, not to wash before Kiddush. Sarech l'shtos mikos shel Kiddush kimol lugmav. You have to drink from the cup of Kiddush a cheekful. The hainu kol sheis al kenu l'tzad echad befiv. This is the amount that you could put to one side of your mouth. V'yira'em lo lugmav. It will look like your whole cheeks, all your cheeks are full. V'hurubo shel revius. And for a general person, elo is measured by every person himself. In general, this would be the majority of a revius. And Mishnah Berurah discusses this year at some length here. Imlo tam hamikadesh. If the one who made kiddush did not drink anything from the wine, v'tam echad me masubin kimlo logma v'yatza, and one of the masubin who was yotze with the kiddush drank a little bit of wine, a shear of malo logmav, perish malo fiv yatza. That he would be yotze the kiddush. There is a discussion in Mishnah Berurah if someone who is not one of the masubin could drink this wine or not. It's mashing here that they cannot. There's some poskim who discuss this question. But you cannot have 2 people join together to drink the malay lugmav. So if one person drank half a malay lugmav, the other one drank half a malay lugmav, that doesn't count, and they were not yitzei kiddush. The mitzvah min amuvcha is that everyone should taste the wine. One person should drink a malay lugmav, everyone else should taste the wine. Obviously presuming that there is enough wine for everyone to do this. There are those who say that even though you have to join together the amounts that different people drank, you're still yaitze. That you can join together the taste that each person had, as long as it's all together, that counts for malon lugma of your yotze. However, the Gaonim say, meaning not like either of these 2 shitas, the Gaonim say the one who said the kiddush has to drink the wine, and if he didn't do it, they were not yaitz, even though someone else drank it. And it's proper to be choshish for their shita. V'davka b'kiddush, this only applies to kiddush. The Gaonim would agree for all other things that need a kos, like berchas hamazon and so on, that someone else could taste. But here, the person who's making the kiddush needs to taste, at least according to the shita of the Gaonim, to be yaitz to the shita of the Gaonim. Kiddush, if he made Kiddush, and before tasting the wine, he made a hafsik by speaking about something unrelated to Kiddush. He has to repeat Ber Pirgafen. He does not have to repeat Kiddush, because the Hesach Hadas and the hafsik only ruined the Ber Pirgafen, it didn't ruin the Kiddush. Same thing be true if he spilled the cup before drinking it. Yavikos Acher, bring another cup. He does not have to repeat Kiddush. There is a discussion here if there are circumstances in which he would, in fact, have to repeat Kiddush. Discussed here in the Mishnah Berurah a number of examples of other types of the problems or hefsekim. Lo yitam hamasubin mishiyatam hamakadesh. The ones who are guests should not taste the wine before the Mekadesh does if they're going to drink from his cup, that he's pouring from his cup into their empty cups, or that they have cups that are not kosher for Kiddush because they're kos pagum. If they have a good cup of wine in front of them, they could drink before the one saying Kiddush drinks. There's no problem. You do not have to pour from the cup of the one saying Kiddush into the other people's cups, unless they had a cup but it was a kos pagum. Then you have to pour some wine into them because pouring that wine will fix and make it not pagum. However, if they have a cup of wine that is not pagum, so that theoretically would be acceptable to make Kiddush on, then there's no need to even give them from his cup. It would be, even to be Yosef this Indian, it would be sufficient that they could all drink from their cup.